Hey, what's up? JR Noble here. And I had a student today in class who was asking me, a couple of students actually, who weren't too familiar with what mastering is. And so I thought I would jump on here and answer that question as well, because there may be some other people out there who have that same question. You've heard about mastering, not really sure what it is. You know, you should be using it. You should be mastering your audio. You want to make it sound really good so that when you put it out, it sounds great and it's loud and kind of compared to everybody else's music, it sounds really good. So, but what is mastering? What is the actual process of mastering? The best definition that I've been given from some mastering engineers that I've talked to is that mastering is really just preparing the media. Preparing the audio for its final medium. And the final medium could be MP3 format. It could be, the final medium could be, MP3 format for iTunes. It could be going to a CD, so 1644.1 and all that kind of good stuff. But that still doesn't help you when it comes to, well, how do I get my music to sound like everybody else's music? I know mastering is kind of the thing. I should be mastering my music. Well, the thing I can tell you is that from my own experience, that mastering, as soon as you put some plugins on your mastering channel, right, you're starting to master your audio, your music. But if you don't have a process for that kind of stuff, it can kind of get really muddy. The water can get muddy really quick. And speaking of water, there's an analogy I like to use when I'm talking about this and sharing this with other people, and that analogy is that you can think of your music like a glass of water, like a glass of tap water, right? And what mastering is mastering is taking that glass of tap water and then turning it into like purified water, right? And getting all the bad stuff out and keeping all the really good stuff and, ionized, alkaline, whatever, all that good stuff, making the water great, So that's kind of mastering. It's the same thing. You end up with the same exact thing, but it's just a little bit better than the original, right? And so when it comes to mastering, though, you can't expect to get wine out of water, though, right? So you can't perform miracles when it comes to mastering, right? So it's kind of loud, might be loud with the plane, but anyways, if you're trying to master your music, you have to start with something good, okay? So you can't expect to get some really amazing sounding piece of music if you don't start with a good sound, right? So most of these guys who, if you're listening to their music and you think it sounds really awesome, it's probably because they started with some great sounds to begin with. So instead of trying to turn water to wine, they're starting with wine and they're just ending up with better wine. So that's kind of the analogy I could give you for that, right? It's kind of like a different process, right? So then sticking with that water analogy though, so let's say you have like a glass of tap water and you want to make it better glass of tap water using mastering. It can be hard. Like you can look at the plugins on your chain kind of like a filtering process, right? And so Brita is like known for water. So if you want to make Brita quality water, you can't expect to make Brita quality water if you don't know their filtration system and how they make the water better, right? Until you learn their process and learn the tools and things that they use to make that water better. So you can look at your mastering chain sort of like that filtration system. You're taking your music and you're making it sound better by passing it through these plugins or whatever it is that you're using to master your music and take it from that generic kind of tap water into this purified kind of better tasting water, right? So then to know that process though, it's to understand that process and what to use and what plugins and all that stuff to use is something that takes time and a good ear for, and it also takes a good listening space and listening environment for those kind of things. All right, so that's just what my take on mastering, what mastering is. All right, so hopefully that helps you with understanding exactly what mastering is, because really that's it. Like I talked to this one guy, buddy of mine, Mayor Applebaum, is a mastering engineer, and he had a really good way of putting it too. And so like when he gets a song, it may be like 90% there, like where it needs to go. And then he just takes it that extra 10%, or actually, no, sorry, out of 100%, this is what he told me, out of 100%, if the song is 100%, right, like it's completely like mixed and ready to go, he may change only like as something as small as like 1 to 10% of the song. He might change the sound of the song by like 1 or 10%. But when you put that music out right after he's mastered the song, then people who are listening to that music are hearing 100% of that little tiny change that he made, that 1 or 10% change that he made, right? They're not hearing the mixed version before that. So mastering can make a huge impact on your music, but the bigger thing to realize there is that people aren't hearing the version before it got mastered, right? They're not hearing the rough mix or any of that kind of stuff. They're hearing the mastered final version. And that's really what's important about mastering your music too, is making sure that you have a process for mixing or for mastering your music and taking that extra little step to kind of put the icing on the cake per se, and really, really shine it up and get it ready to go out. All right, so that's just my take on what mastering is after talking with some mastering engineers and from my own experiences as well. So hopefully you got some kind of value out of that. And if you did, make sure that you hit the subscribe button on my channel, and I'll be doing some more of these Facebook Lives and sharing some more insights and info on things that I've learned since moving out here to LA and being in the music industry and learning a lot of music production and engineering tips from other engineers and producers out here. All right, so thanks for stopping by and taking the time to check this out, and I will talk to you again soon. Once again, my name is J.R. Noble. You can also check me out at jrnoble.co. All right, talk to you later.